Leadership is about authority, and authority is the power that comes from character. And you have, if you direct people on the foundation of potestas, on the foundation of formal power, only you destroy your capacity for leadership. If you say people every 5 minutes, who is the boss here? And you lose your capacity for leadership, because these people will understand with this guy, that lady, she can lead, she can direct only with violence. She has nothing inside, he has nothing inside, so then he has to apply the rules. And this is not leadership at all. This is violence. Leadership, it's a question of heart, first of all. Very often people forget the heart, and they think about the virtues as being something that have to do with the intellect and with the will. And they forget very much that the virtues are rooted in the heart of the human person, and especially the virtues of the leader, the specific virtues of leaders that are magnanimity and humility. These virtues are virtues of the heart par excellence. So they are very deeply rooted in the heart of a leader. In order to develop virtues, first of all, you need to value virtue. You need to love it. And you need to see the beauty of virtue in order to appreciate it, in order to want it for yourself. And this is an operation made by the heart, not by the intellect and not by the will. First of all, it's the heart that says, I want the virtue. After you use your will to practice the virtue, and you use your intelligence to practice all the virtues together, to find the unity among those virtues through practical wisdom. But at the very beginning, what is involved is the heart of the person. I mean, the crisis for civilization, the crisis of leadership is not a crisis of intelligence. It's not a crisis of the will. It's a crisis of the heart of people. Small hearts, small people. No imagination, no creativity, no desire for greatness. Small-mindedness. This is the death of what leadership is. So we have to rebuild this awareness. We have to rebuild this. We have to set fire on hearts for personal greatness. This is what we're trying to do. To set hearts on fire for personal greatness, and to revolutionize life, culture, and business through virtuous leadership. We live in a civilization that wants people to be small. A civilization that creates zombies, managers. Excuse me for the relationship between zombies and managers. But a manager that is only a manager is a zombie, We set hearts on fire because we help people awake. So many people are focused on politics, want to change the systems, believe in democracies, believe in a God, but they don't understand that first of all we need to change the people. People need to understand what it means to be a human being. It means to understand the greatness, the beauty of our humanness, our humanity. And through this, develop themselves and change the world around. Humility is the habit of living in the truth. And the truth is that you and me, we have defects and talents. If we don't see the talent that we have and we focus on our defects, we are not humble. We do not practice the truth. We are outside the truth. So many people don't like the word greatness, personal greatness, magnanimity. They tell you, well, this is pride. It's because they don't understand what humility is about. Humility is not about saying, I am worth nothing. Because humility is the truth, and you are not worth nothing. You have a lot of talents, you have a lot of good things, and you have to work on that. So what we do, in fact, we help people understand the true meaning of humility. When we speak about personal greatness, about magnanimity, we make people understand that there is no humility, true humility, that is not magnanimous. You can't be humble if you are not magnanimous at the same time, because you would be a small-minded person, not humble. Small-mindedness is not the same thing as humility. And for many people, it's the same thing. unfortunately. They have corrupted the real meaning of the concept of humility. And we have to bring these people back to the truth and make them understand, wow, this is cowardice, this is small-mindedness, this is not humility at all. Be magnanimous, be great, tend toward this, and then you will be truly humble. This is what we say, people, and this is a revolution. You're right, it's a revolution, it's not usual. You develop virtue because you love virtue, because you love the truth, because you love goodness, because you love beauty. And this is what is in virtue. So people, normal people want virtue for virtue. They want the good for the good, because it's the only way to achieve your humanness. But at the same time, we understand that by developing virtue, we acquire new capacities for actions. New capacities for action. We become more capable of great things. We become effective. So effectiveness is not the aim of the development of virtue. It is one of the results, the manifold results of the development of virtue. Well, very often people, by ethical leadership, they have in mind certain rules. They have in mind the rule-based leadership, right? The rule-based mentality, the rule-based ethics, which is you have rules and you have to follow the rules, and then you're an ethical person. And with virtuous leadership, we say it's not exactly like this. You have to follow, of course, certain rules. You have to be an ethical person. But virtue is much more than a rule. Virtue is yourself. It's freedom. So when we speak about virtuous leadership, we say that the rules must be at the service of virtue. The core, the center of ethics is not a rule. It is virtue, self-development, self-achievement. We need, I repeat, to follow the rules. We're not against the rules, but the rules must be at the service of virtue. We're saying that it is not enough to have values in life. Many people have great values: God, country, family. But because they lack the virtues, they have a lot of difficulties to be real believers, they have difficulties to be real parents, and they have difficulties to be real citizens. So the value is something that is outside yourself, something that you value and you want for yourself. But the only way to achieve this is virtue. Virtue is a dynamic force that gives you the capacity to achieve your values. Many people speak about values, but they don't speak enough about how we get those values. And we get them through the practice of virtues. The specific virtues of leaders are magnanimity and humility. And these virtues, in fact, are virtues of the heart. And these virtues are life ideals in themselves. Then leadership is a life ideal. You can't base your life on courage. You can't base your life on justice. You can't base all your life on self-control. Even on prudence, you can't base your life. But your life, your existence, can be based on magnanimity and humility. It can be based on greatness and service. That is why leadership is a life ideal.